So have the Florida Panthers become a worse hockey team? Captain Paul for the Locker Room. Appreciate if you could drop a like, comment, and subscribe. But let's get right into it. We have seen some key departures from the Florida Panthers. OEL signed to Toronto. Lomberg, now the Calgary Flame. Mahura and Montour have now joined the Seattle Kraken. And Vladimir Tarasenko signed with the Detroit Red Wings. And due to the cap situation currently with the Florida Panthers, they do not have a lot of money to play with. But have they become a worse hockey team? Well, let's get right into it. They signed Kulikov to a 4-year deal, which is a kind of a good story for him. They signed Nosek to a 1-year deal, but don't expect too much offense from him. But defensively, he's very steady. AJ Greer, 2-year deal with the Panthers. Boqvist, they signed a 1-year deal with him. Tender, 1-year deal. And Twizzle, 1 year. But where it gets a little interesting, at least in my opinion, Anton Lundell, a 6-year deal, $5 million per year. A lot of this is going to go on potential, but if you watch Lundell during the playoffs or throughout the season, I think he has a high ceiling and will be a top 6 player for the Panthers. I think that could age extremely well. Very good playmaker, very good defensively. I think he's a perfect fit in that system. So I think that was kind of smart to lock him in now at $5 million. Nate Schmidt, kind of a reclamation project on the back end. You're hoping he can kind of, I would say, turn things around. And then the big signing, or I should say re-signing, would be Reinhart is now back in a Panthers uniform, and they locked him up for, in my opinion, a pretty good price. $8.625 million for what he gave you. Some people might say a little overpaid, but considering you're having guys that score 40, 50 goals, get ridiculous contracts, over $10 million, I think this is a nice little kind of deal for him. He gets a lot of money. He gets the benefit of playing in Florida, so there's no income tax. Again, I think the Panthers, they've taken a little bit of a step back, but still a quality hockey team on the ice. You got Verhaeghe, Barkov, Reinhart, Rodriguez, who I liked Rodriguez's game a lot during the playoffs. Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk, a very solid top 6. Usterainen, Lundell. Mackey, a very young player at the age of 21. You took him 24th overall in the 2021 NHL draft. You're hoping he can fill in the top 9. I do think they downgraded their 4th line. And that's not to knock Nosek or Greer, but I really like Stendlund. I really like Lomberg. Cousins is a UFA, currently hasn't signed with anybody. Like, there was some really steady players for the Panthers on that 4th line, and I do think this is a lesser 4th line, but still, top 9 is steady. And then on the back end, you got Forsling, Ekblad, Nikola, Kulikov. That's a steady enough top 4. You're going to have to expect Kulikov taking some minutes. And then Nate Schmidt, he can put up decent points on the back end. His plus-minus was pretty solid in Winnipeg, but if you watched him play, the reason why he's signing an $800,000 contract, I mean, it wasn't all spectacular back there. And then in goal, because of the contract complications of having no cap space, it's going to be Sergei Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight unless they deal Knight. Now, I will say, I do imagine Boqvist, who played for the Bruins last season, will get some shot at the 4th line because I do think he gives you a little bit more. But looking at this Panthers lineup, well, yes, they lost some good players. I think Montour, while steady enough, it's not like he's a consistent 70-plus guy from the back end. He's been more around the 30 marker, maybe low 40s throughout his whole career. I still believe the Panthers are a very good hockey team, and with their style of play, they're going to wear down their opponents. Do I think they've got a little bit worse? Yes. But I'll make this caveat. If Spencer Knight comes in and fulfills the potential a lot of Panther fans thought he had, puts up similar numbers to Anthony Stolars, gives Bob some rest, if Boqvist can look good like he did for the Bruins, come into the Panthers and contribute, and Lundell takes another step, which I think he'll be able to do, it's still going to be a very good hockey team and one of the best ones in the Eastern Conference. Now, you're going to have some interesting conversations the season after next because Sam Bennett will be up. What will it take to retain him? Will the cap go up yet again? Maybe that allows you to retain him. You also have to talk about the back end, Ekblad. His contract comes up in 2025. But for this upcoming season, I think the Panthers are going to remain a very good hockey team. And who knows? Maybe we're going to have some guys come onto the scene that really surprise us. So I do think they got a little worse, but not by a lot. I still think they're extremely good and just a deep hockey team overall. I'd like to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What have you thought about the Panthers offseason thus far? Are you worried about some of the players that have left in free agency? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll see you in the next one.